up is a new time storyteller, and not just new time, but someone that came here tonight and said, I think I could do that. Will Miss Danielle Borsche please take the stage? Okay, so I have to start by apologizing to my mother. She's not here tonight, but I swore to her I would never tell any more stories about her in front of a live audience, and that is not true. So my parents are the free-spirited ex-hippie sorts. My dad's a white guy who had a fro well past the 70s, and used to have this hippie van where they would hide drugs in like this hole in the side door. And my mom believes that everything is okay to talk about, so like, you know, she'd walk around the house naked, and we'd talk about how nudity's fine. And she smoked a lot of pot when I was 12. She said, look, I know some of your friends are going to do pot, and I thought that if you wanted to, you could try it with me first, because that way you'd be safe, and I know you're getting the good stuff. And so I immediately thought, I'm never going to do pot ever. That's so not cool. My mom does that. So when other of my friends did it, I was like, okay, whatever, my mom does that, that's fine. So I was getting ready. So, and also my parents were both raised in really strict Catholic households. And they decided that their children would have none of that when they grew up. So we were allowed to do whatever we wanted, which in my case meant I was going to be a witch. So like, and I mean like a Craft kind of witch, like The Craft, that movie. Like I was gonna go like this and my eyes would be a different color, like that kind of a witch. So I was getting ready to turn 13 and I thought, wow, this is a really auspicious year for me. 13, that's a scary number, and I'm gonna be a teenager, and the combination of those will of course help me realize my magical powers. So I thought, okay, let me gather my friends, and in 6th grade, or 7th grade, I guess it was, there were only 13 girls in my class. That was my entire, like, there were boys too, but there were about the same number of them. But there were 13 girls in my class, and I thought, I will gather them all for my 13th birthday party. 13 friends, 13th birthday party, and I will display my magical powers, and then I will be popular. That's what's going to happen. So, gathered everyone. You know, my free willing parents are like, sure, 13 girls can sleep over, whatever, that's fine. I'm like, great, okay, and they're like, we'll be in our room smoking pot. I'm like, all right, see you later. So I, you know, plied these young women with caffeine and sugar. And as it got later, I thought, okay, now is the time to reveal my magical powers. So I started with palm reading. I'm going to borrow this for a second. Does anybody want their palm read? All right, come here, give me your palm. You have to come closer to me. There's a microphone for it. All right, so is this the hand you write with? Yes. Okay, I need the other one. All right. So, wow, you have like 3 fate lines, which is pretty incredible. So that means either that you're really lucky or that all the time your luck kind of goes in 3 different directions, which means that it doesn't really work out so well for you. It seems like you're distanced from your family, or at least you were. I don't know if this is emotional distance or physical distance or what, but there's a significant amount of distance there. And you're very, very smart, but it's like this off-the-wall smart. Like, you're not smart about things normal people are smart about. You're smart about, like, you know, other things, and they're like, why did you say that? And also, you're going to fall in love once. The first time is for real, the second time isn't. I'm sorry. Okay, so I thought that would make me popular. So I did some palm readings, and everybody was like, you know, patting my hands because I said really nice things, obviously. It's like, you're going to fall in love like 80 times, and it's going to be great. They were like, yay, we're 13. And then, you know, it got later, and I started telling scary stories, some really good scary stories, which I'm not going to share now. But so I told some scary stories, so everybody was like giggling and terrified, and, you know, we look over on the wall, and all of a sudden it seems like the CD player and the VCR have made this shadow on the wall that looks like Abraham Lincoln's hat. Oh my God, it's the ghost of Abraham Lincoln in my house. And so we're, you know, freaking out, we're screaming. I hear from the other room, my mom's like, quiet, you have to be quieter. And I'm like, okay guys, let's be quiet. Okay, you know, because that's what happens when 13 girls are in a room together is you say quiet and everyone's like, and they go nuts. So we do that for a while. My mom yells, sort of a disembodied voice from the other room, and we're like, over and over again. And so then I break out the big guns, trances. So I gather, the girls, and we're doing these trances, which is where, like, I rub your temples for a while, and I say things like, all right, now close your eyes and count backwards from 100, 98, 97. And we do this until everybody's like, sort of like trance state just because it's 4 in the morning, we're like, oh my God, why is she still counting? And then I'm like, now imagine yourself in a field, and eventually it gets to the point where I'm like, now do really stupid things in front of everyone. And the amazing thing is that when you do this stuff in front of a group, it works because they want it to work, like they want to jump up and down on one leg and reveal who their crush is, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like feeling my popularity rising dramatically with each and every girl that I hypnotize into liking me. So this is great. And, we start giggling, and the giggling is getting kind of out of control, and my mom's screaming from the other room, but whatever, that's fine. We quiet down, and immediately afterwards. I guess finally my mom had gotten really fed up with this whole thing, so she bursts out into the living room where we all are, and we all stop. And she starts screaming, and I imagine that she yelled something to the effect of, you're making noise, and it's 4 in the morning, and why don't you shut up, and what's wrong with you? But I didn't hear any of that. My hearing stopped working, pretty much everything stopped working as I zeroed in on the fact that my mother was naked. My mom sleeps naked, and this had never seemed to be an issue before now. And so my naked mother is screaming at my friends, and her breasts are jiggling from the sheer anger that's spewing out of her. And this mental image is embedded in my mind, and I'm thinking, oh my God, if this is what I'm seeing, and I'm this terrified of what's occurring, what must be the case for these 13 other girls who don't have hippie parents at home telling them that nudity is fine? And I decided at that moment that maybe I didn't need to be popular.